Matthew Thompson, when discussing the hiring of military veterans, once said, "Veterans understand loyalty and they understand integrity. You can trust them to do the right thing even when no one else is watching." And Randall Stevenson tells us, "We hire military veterans because they make great employees. They bring proven technical and leadership skills, they understand teamwork, and they're adaptable. Bottom line, hiring veterans is good for business." The fact that vets bring enormous value to the table is well known, but employers would do well to understand exactly why these individuals can help their business and exactly how to find them, recruit them, and effectively benefit from their presence. In this course, we'll show you how to do exactly that.
Unemployment rates for veterans increased in 2020, with a rate of 6.5% for males and 7.5% for females. Of the total 379,000 unemployed veterans aged 18 and above, 23% have been unemployed for less than 5 weeks, while 77% have been unemployed for more than 5 weeks. These statistics show that hiring veterans is an increasingly important area that businesses should consider. Our course is going to consist of a series of critical discussion points. These are designed to cover this broad topic as thoroughly as possible, to encourage growth in these vital areas, and to facilitate a real and fruitful discussion within your organization about how you can each improve on this essential characteristic, both at work and in your personal lives in general. Some of these will be pretty lengthy, and some will be relatively straightforward and brief. At the very end of this roadmap comes the most important final step. Discussion time. Do not skip this. This is the most important part of this training. When you've finished this course, you need to spend at least an hour or so going over the questions we supply at the end as a group. Whoever's the head honcho in the group should designate a facilitator whose responsibility it is that each question is covered and that everyone, time permitting, is able to have their say. Make sure all contributions are valued, all suggestions considered, and all opinions respected. So let's move into the first discussion point. Work relationships are important in any business or organization. However, if you want to build a connection with veterans, you need more than just communication. You need to make an effort to understand things from their perspective. Having fundamental military insight about the values, policies, and decrees promotes interpersonal relationships between employers and veteran employees. How can you familiarize yourself with their culture? The best way is if you have an existing employee veteran. They can guide you firsthand on what to know about their culture and how to approach their co-veterans. If you don't have any veteran employees yet, you can reach out to your network and ask if they have any veterans in their organization. At the same time, do your research. There are a handful of official military websites that discuss the institution and its cultural competence. Gaining knowledge from these sources can help widen your point of view in hiring veterans. Make your job descriptions veteran-friendly. If your goal is to employ veterans on your next job opening, then you might want to fine-tune your job descriptions. This is especially important when the job offer is specifically targeted to those who have a military background. How can you make your job descriptions veteran-friendly? The best way is to explain the responsibilities in detail and use relatable language. This means listing familiar skills that are applicable for both the military and civilian fields. For example, you can emphasize that you're looking for candidates with leadership or problem-solving skills, adaptable to change, and has great communication skills. You can also mention other essential soft skills, like experience working with diverse groups, or highlighting specific technical skills. It would also be best to incorporate military occupational specialty, or MOS codes, in your listings. MOS is a 9-character code used in the United States Army and the United States Marine Corps that corresponds to a military's roles and responsibilities. Using MOS codes in your job description not only appeals to veterans, but will also help them identify roles easier. To learn more about MOS codes, you can look them up at ONET Online, sponsored by the U.S. Department of Labor, and TA Online. Ask the right interview questions. Another important aspect when hiring veterans is by having a thorough approach to interviewing. Ask about related skills they acquired from relevant military and civilian training and what they learned during their years in active duty. Ask them why they think they are qualified for the job. This will help you to gauge if they have the skills as well as the confidence on taking on the new role. An important thing to keep in mind when conducting these interviews is to be cautious when discussing sensitive matters, such as their discharge. Also, avoid asking about their specific deployments, as veterans might construe it as if you're trying to determine if they have any medical affliction of post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. If one of your candidates is a reservist, avoid asking whether their service could interfere with their job in any way. Under the Uniformed Service Employment and Re-employment Rights Act, any person who serves or has served in the armed forces, reserve, National Guard, or other uniformed services should not be denied employment. Find recruitment resources. Now that you've familiarized yourself with their military culture and made adjustments to accommodate these people, the question now is, where can you find qualified candidates? Fortunately, there are a handful of resources to hire veterans. The most practical way is by participating in job fairs near military bases, Guard and Reserve Unit headquarters, or at college campuses with a strong ROTC presence. Another way to find candidates is by seeking official resources provided by the government. The Department of Labor has several programs dedicated to the hiring of veterans and associated programs and policies. Programs include Jobs for Veterans State Grants, Federal Contractor Reporting, Vets 4212, Jobs for Veteran State Grants, Military Spouses, Stand Down, Homeless Veterans Reintegration Program, Women Veterans, Veterans Preference. Additionally, the Veterans Affairs have created a special resource designed for those who wish to hire vets. This is known as the Veterans Employment Toolkit. The toolkit provides information on government subsidies, as well as VA incentives that may be offered to certain companies for hiring veterans. It also includes information about DOL programs that incorporate online training and provide other helpful resources. You can download this toolkit on their official site, va.gov. Hire with the right intentions. While you might feel the need to hire veterans to show your patriotism or for the tax credit, you need to be sure that the ones you're hiring are actually qualified for the job. After all, company standards should remain a priority above anything else. Like any candidate, carefully evaluate their skills, work ethic, career goals, as well as their strengths and weaknesses. Promote your mission of hiring veterans. A strong commitment is needed to make a veteran hiring program successful. This commitment involves more than just seeking the right individuals. You want to show your company's intent of prioritizing veteran hiring. There's no greater example of showing passion in serving others than these people. That's why they'll want to work for employers who upload the true meaning of hiring veterans. How can you market your mission of veteran hiring? The most effective way is by promoting it on your website and social media. Using your posts, emphasize how your company values veterans and the sacrifices they made for our country, and how hiring them would be an honor and a huge asset for your business. As also mentioned earlier, write job descriptions that are specifically intended for veteran job seekers and highlight valuable skills that they surely possess from being in the military. When attending networking events, advertise your campaign and emphasize the greater purpose of your company's initiatives. When your company promotes the advocacy of hiring veterans, you'll not only attract such individuals, but you'll also become a role model, inspiring others to uphold such an honorable campaign. Dedicate a veteran recruitment team. Knowing that this program is such a special and unique process, it would be wise to assemble a team dedicated to hiring these individuals. In fact, many top-class companies have departments specifically catered to veteran recruitment and assistance. However, if your company is not that big yet, you can assemble a small recruitment team that solely focuses on such recruitment. Having an existing employee veteran, if you have one, can definitely be a huge asset on the team. They can give you first-hand knowledge on how to deal with co-veterans. More importantly, they are the most qualified to take part in analyzing resumes, communicating with candidates, and helping them to transition from military to civilian life. Understand military job skills. It's no surprise that veterans exit the military with great focus, work ethic, self-discipline, and passion, along with valuable technical skills. Sadly, it's often a challenge to convey their skills and experience when seeking civilian employment, and statistics back it up. According to Monster's Veteran Hiring Survey, 81% of veterans say their military positions don't translate well to civilian jobs. How can you help break down the barrier between military and civilian skills? One way is by using a skill translator. A skill translator is an online tool that helps you match military skills and experience to current job opportunities. Military.com has a great skill translator that can help you assess the skills of veterans in any service and military job title. Additionally, once you've gained a basic understanding of the MOS codes mentioned earlier, you'll be able to find the classification codes for the jobs you're looking to fill. You can use the ONET's military crosswalk search to find it. Using these tools, you'll be able to help our heroes to start a new chapter in life and ensure that their skills and abilities can contribute to your company's success. Set veterans up for success. Don't think that your efforts in helping veterans are over after a job offer has been made. The work isn't over. In fact, it's only the beginning. As an employer, you want to make sure that your new employees find success within your organization, and you'd want them to stay with you for a long time. From the start, create a workplace culture that shows you welcome veterans with open arms. To set them up for success, provide them with helpful tools and resources. For example, you can set up veteran support groups and recognition ceremonies in military service appreciation months, like May and November. You can also set up a wall of honor featuring your hero employees and thanking them for their service. You can also promote your advocacy by supporting local military organizations and events. Don't forget military spouses. When hiring veterans, he or she likely has a spouse that has relocated from one duty assignment to another. Sadly, these transfers have made it difficult for military spouses to find work. In fact, they are sometimes even labeled as job hoppers. When hiring veterans, please don't neglect their spouses. Help them to find employment too, like their veteran counterparts. Military spouses have unique skills that can be an asset to any business. For example, having a peripatetic lifestyle, they learn to be adaptable, reliable, and proactive. These skills are highly valuable in any workplace. Use social media to your advantage. There's no question about it. Social media is the most powerful tool for people to hear your voice. The same is true when recruiting veterans. Social media is a perfect medium for finding these types of individuals. There are many social media groups and pages dedicated to veteran hiring and advocating veteran employment. For example, Hiring Our Heroes has a Facebook and LinkedIn page that is geared towards helping veterans find work and start a new life. These online forums are great places to pursue your recruitment efforts and get in touch with potential veteran candidates. Dig deeper during interviews. Interviews can be a real challenge for employers if not done correctly. Why is that so? Interviews are traditionally designed for a candidate to brag about their experience and individual achievements, as well as what skills they can bring to the table. However, having a we rather than an I attitude, veterans tend to sell themselves short than other candidates. Knowing this, you may need to have a different approach when evaluating these individuals. Ask more follow-up questions and dig deeper into their background to get a clearer picture of the candidate's experiences, abilities, and contributions. Another way is by looking at reference checks. Though they may be uncomfortable speaking about their individual achievements, other persons for sure will attest to what kind of worker they are. You can use online tools like Skill Survey Reference to find quick, insightful feedback on the candidate's skill set and experience. Highlight workplace benefits. If you want to attract veterans to join your organization, you have to highlight the handful of benefits they can receive if they work for you. To do that, you need to determine what aspects of your company would appeal most to them. For example, veterans are trained to work as a team, so having a solid team-building group will surely appeal to them. They would also prefer companies that have dedicated support for veterans. Highlight your program, including things like emotional wellness, personal financial consultations, career advancement opportunities, and more. Having a veteran-inclined workplace gives you an edge among competitors and will surely attract more veterans to work with you. Focus on veteran employee retention. Employee retention is just as important as your veteran hiring initiatives. After all, you want to make sure that they'll work for you long term. To do that, you need to have a formal employee resource group focused on increasing employee engagement and foster a diverse but united workplace. Veteran Employee Groups is an ERG dedicated to creating connections for your beloved veteran workers through team buildings and mentoring programs. Having a strong VRG in your organization elevates your brand and sheds a positive light on your company's values. Moreover, when veterans have a positive experience within your organization, word of mouth will help market your business. Having these types of programs increases your reputation as a respectable organization that honors and supports veterans. Analyze yourself. Employers most likely don't have any military experience. This is why it's important that when recruiting vets for your company, it's important to understand things from their point of view. So before you start your veteran hiring initiatives, it would be best to analyze yourself first. Ask yourself these questions. What are my most urgent needs for the company? If you were the first civilian interviewer they had spoken with since leaving military service, what would I do? How will I try to understand and identify their unique needs? How will you make your veteran applicants more comfortable with your hiring/interviewing process? What should I ask besides direct experience in the applicant's education? How can I establish a way to help veterans understand the process of hiring once the resume has been submitted? Attend career fairs. Attending local job fairs and community events is a great way to connect with veterans in person. Regularly participating in such events establishes your brand as an advocate of veteran support. A lot of veteran job boards host career fairs regularly. You could reach out to organizers to let you know when these events take place. You can also reach out to organizations that support veterans to register for upcoming career fairs. You can check out scheduled job fairs on Recruit Military, Disabled American Veterans, and Job Zone. Before attending job fairs, however, it's important that your recruiting team already has a basic grasp of military knowledge. This is so they can easily understand and communicate with potential candidates. Even better, if you already have a veteran in your workforce, invite them to come with you to engage with candidates. He/she can share firsthand their experience working with your organization. Having an existing veteran in your organization can definitely appeal to other veterans to join your team. Create a veteran hiring page. Normally, companies have a career page on their website where people can take a look at the job opportunities currently available. However, if you want your brand to be recognized among others, you need to up your game. A great way is by creating a page for hiring veterans separated from the general career page. Having a dedicated hiring page for veterans allows you to communicate directly with candidates about your mission, as well as the special programs you provide just for them. By having a separate hiring page, you'll not only make the applications more accessible, but also show that your organization is fully committed to helping veterans find new career opportunities. And now it's discussion time, the most important part of this training. Whoever's the head honcho in the group should designate a facilitator whose responsibility it is that each of the questions you see on your screen is covered, and that everyone, time permitting, is able to have their say. Make sure all contributions are valued, all suggestions considered, and all opinions respected.